The first time I saw Sharky, it was supposed to be a 1920 Harlem Steam event, and Sharky was like half naked.
When I say that I had like a Josephine Baker costume, there were feathers and a bra top, and I had on like some type of blazer that covered me up a little, but the bouncer wouldn't let me in.
Now her friend Leah, she's advocating for her. She's like, oh, she's an educator. She works for children. She's Harvard educated, this and that.
I didn't know that it was Khalid at the time, but he steps in, he says something, didn't really recognize him as Khalid at the time, but I just thought it was one of my friend's friends. So I just thought that I can go in. The manager comes down, he finally lets me into the venue. I get to the venue, I go downstairs.
And it's like groups of couples. It's like, there's literally like 4 couples sitting in like a semicircle in like groups of 2. Sharky that I met earlier, and she was also by herself. So I walk over to her and I said, I was like, everyone over there is coupled up.
And I look over and I'm like, yeah, bunch of couples. Didn't think much of it. Then I see the bouncer, I see Khalid, and I use his body to position himself around me. So I'm like moving around, making sure that the bouncer doesn't see me because people were getting kicked out.
Oh, then she's grabbing me, she's pulling me. I'm like, whoa, hey, whoa, okay, what's going on here? Like, you know? So I'm thinking like, oh, she's flirting with, I'm like, that was kind of.
Khalid thought that I was flirting at the time. And I wasn't.
So then she's like, oh, you want to take a photo of me? Now, if anybody knows Sharky well, again, this is my first introduction, she loves taking photos, right? But now, I walk over to this woman, first she's all over me. Then she's like, oh, you want to take some photos of me? I'm like, okay, she's showing me how cute she is. She's showing me how nice she's, okay. All right, I see what she's doing. So then we end up talking some more.
So I asked Khalid, I'm new to Harlem. Do you have a church home? Do you know of any churches that I can attend? And usually that scares guys away from me. It just so happens Khalid answers the question and tells me which services we could go to. Oh, well, this service, 7:30 service, 9:30 service, 11:30 service. So I knew something was very different about that.
I mean, first I was a little taken aback. I'm like, wait, this chick's half naked. She was just all over me. She want me to take photos of her. Now she asking me about church. Like, what's going, like, this is some new game. I never had a game like this before. One of the first things she said that I really remember was that she was like, guys usually don't get me because I know my purpose. And that really struck me because, you know, I have a deep relationship with my purpose, and I understand what it means to really pursue your purpose, to really feel like I'm doing the thing that I'm born to do.
And that was like our first conversation, and we just got deep, really, really, really deep. In that moment, I had to make the decision to either leave or stick around with Khalid. And I told my friend that I'm gonna stay, and she was really shocked. That never happens.
And then we ended up going outside, we ended up taking more photos, and then we decided to go to IHOP. It was probably within the first 3 hours of meeting each other. We talked about everything from God to previous relationships, to you know, what we love to do, to school, to it was almost surreal how deep that we got. I told her about all the things that kind of led me to my walk and how I ended up kind of on this abstinent journey. And I remember she was telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, who talks about this on the first night of meeting somebody? Like, what? I remember asking her, this woman, like, why are you telling me all this? And she said to me, because you had the capacity.
That night, I definitely walked away from that saying, what was that? Well, what was that? I was curious leaving, like, is that his real personality? Is that who he is? There was definitely some curiosity there. I met Khalid April 4th, 2015. And the next time we saw each other was at church, FCBC, April 19th, 2015.
Sharky was super late. Different conversation, right? She didn't get there till almost the end of the service, so she decided to stay to the 11:30 service because she pretty much missed the 9:30 service. And she hit me up. She finally hit me up because we were supposed to go to 9:30, but she got so late. So when she finally hit me up, it was already 11:30. So I got up and I rushed to church.
This is the first time I saw Khalid. He was bow tied up. He was like suited and booted, ready to go. And when the next time I saw Khalid, he looked like he crawled from the bottom of a sock drawer. when I saw him, I just thought of myself. I used to go out all the time Saturday night, but always come to church the next day. I wouldn't let anything stop me. So to see Khalid, I thought it was hilarious. But I did thank him for inviting me to the church. It was a wonderful service, and I really appreciated him for inviting me out.
So when I saw her that day, I remember the first thing I thought, like, that's a grown ass woman. And that day, I like decided, like, listen, guys, like, it was like this, the soldiers in my brain was like, guys, this is not a drill. This is what we've been preparing for all this time. All systems go. We are bringing the A game. Like, at that moment, I was like, A game. That was the day. That was my Adam moment. I was like, I'm going to pursue this woman and I'm going to give her my best.